Oh, do. Hello. How is everybody?
Hey, buddy.
Benji, what's
Hey,
happening?
how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I adapted your style. The cap keeps closing.
Ah, right.
Just need that nasty dialect.
How you been?
So far, so good, man. Thanks. You?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Watching a bit from the sidelines.
Always ready to get back in the game. It's good strategy. Watching, seeing what people are doing, seeing how it makes no sense, and then you pounce. Good. Guys, what's going on? How is everybody?
Just closed the deal
Fantastic.
for $12,000.
Fuck
Huh.
yeah. Good man. Well done.
Mhm.
All that stuff is starting to pay dividends.
Yep.
Good. That's what we love. You must have paid everything back now, have you?
Almost.
Yeah, good. Shit. Well done. I could close deals for 12K. Good. Who else is closing deals for 12K? Anyone else in the league closing deals for 12K? Family? Any of you guys? No?
10.
Yeah. Who's closing deals this week? Talk to me. How's everyone going? Benji, good?
Closed, yes. Closed 10K on, let it be Monday or Tuesday.
Very good. Well done. You guys should probably see a little bit of uplift now in terms of volume, in terms of people coming back to the market. Why? Because the summer's over, schools are back, people are back into some sort of normality, people's offers are back, marketing's all back and running. So you guys should be seeing uplifts in terms of your sales and bookings and all that kind of stuff. Would that be fair to say? Or no? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Well done. Who was here last week in terms of what we trained on, in terms of those couple of smoke screens? Yeah. Joseph, how was it? Did you put any of it into play? Joseph Maldana Dadodo.
Yeah, it was killer, man. I've had a few sales calls this last week, and I'm just looking to implement pretty much everything that you're putting forth.
Good. Well done. Good stuff. Who else? Anyone else? Don't be shy now, guys. If you want to be shy, you're in the wrong fucking zone.
I wasn't here last week, Bill, but you know, from previous times that you did, I was able to get a deposit commitment on a 25K deal that will be closing on Monday. So
yeah, nice. Well done. Guys, if you're watching this on Facebook, there's like 35 of you guys watching this on Facebook. Just know that in like less than 5 minutes, I'm going to shut this down. So you will not be able to watch this training in Facebook. Okay. So that's how it's going to go around here these days. So if you want to be a part of it and you want to get trained and you want to get developed, you got to be able to jump through some sort of hoop. Okay. The reason why we do that, guys, is because we don't want to just give you training that you're not going to use. The reason why we give you training, guys, and the reason why we ask you to fucking commit is so you actually go and use the shit. Okay. The problem that I see all too often with endless salespeople that we coach, train, develop, that are in the community is that they're just consuming. They're info sluts. Just feeding, sucking, absorbing all information. For what reason? Go out there and use the fucking information. Information overload. Yeah. Who here has loads of saved videos on their Facebook that you don't fucking go through? Who here buys tons of books that you don't fucking read? Who here does all of the stuff without actually any penetration? Okay, don't get sexual about it, guys, right? You gotta fucking follow through. You gotta go for it, okay? You gotta keep doing the stuff. You gotta apply it, because all you're gonna be doing is just learning stuff for the sake of learning stuff, yeah? I imagine everyone here wants to make more money. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Would I also imagine that you guys aren't fully happy with where your guys are at? Would that be fair to say?
Yep.
Yeah. So like you guys, I'm the same. Yeah. You have to want to keep pushing. You have to want to keep developing. You have to use the information that you're getting, because if you don't, what's the point? All right. Anyone, any questions on anything that we got going on? Any questions on anything that we have? Any questions that you're stuck with in your own sales career and your own sales processes, objections, how to up conversations, anything before we get going? We're going to go in 3 minutes, guys. 10 minutes after 5.
Bill, it's a quick one. Is that right?
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm new to this basically. So
Good.
Sorry about that, because but yeah,
Just give him a headlock.
shut the door.
Give him a
Sorry
headlock
about
and just give him a headlock and an uppercut at the same time. That normally works in my team.
No, what I was saying, Bill, yeah, basically, you know, when I'm trying to make calls and stuff, sometimes I'm holding back or putting myself off, doing other things. It's like a kind of a confidence thing, you know, distracted. So, you know, how do you overcome that kind of fear of
Yeah,
doing that, basically?
it's kind of
Yeah.
someone asked me there recently, how do you walk into a room and just start speaking in the room? How do you just own a space when you walk into it? How do you do all of these great things, Bill? And believe me when I tell you guys, I didn't wake up like this and just lick it off a stone. You have to work, you have to train, and you have to allow yourself know that you're going to fail and know that you're going to be better tomorrow for failing. What I would also say to you guys, where does confidence come from? Someone tell me.
Practice.
Confidence comes from skill, in my opinion. Confidence comes from knowing that you're good at what you do. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can't be confident at doing it. So if you ask people that are in the circus, how can you walk a tightrope at 300 foot up in the air? Not because they're magicians. It's because that they practice it every single fucking day. Practice makes hard work easy. That's how it works. And it's the same thing with anything you want to do in this life. This fucking thing becomes the heaviest thing in the world, guys, if you don't have the confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't have, I suppose, a little bit of grit in between your teeth to get after it, it's not going to work. Okay, so confidence comes from skill, skills comes from work comes from effort comes from belief. That's how I work it.
Cheers. Thanks for that.
All right, buddy. But also know, why people are apprehensive is because they're fearful of the outcome. They're fearful of looking like a prick, looking like a fool, failing, feeling that you're a failure. Okay. Just to let you all know, guys, I started in sales in January 2021. Who here started before that? Drop your hand. Yeah. Why no ego, no bullshit. Why am I a millionaire and you're not where I am?
Wait, I'm sorry, Bill. 2021, you said?
2021, January 2021, I started sales full time.
Wow.
So just to let you all know, that's like 25 months ago. Okay. So it can happen, guys, if you do the work. But I'd also spent 7 years self-development, business coaching, fucking being a personal trainer, running my own stuff, running my own businesses, everything. And yes, it all kind of seems that it came together, but it doesn't. Like that gentleman, I don't know what your name is, buddy, because it's like Shaft Select Property Solutions. All that stuff is like, if I had fear 7-10 years ago that I wasn't, you know, willing to try and fail and to fucking look like an idiot, then I wouldn't be here today. I remember 7-10 years ago, guys, when I used to do live videos, okay, my friends used to message me and say, I can't believe you were speaking like that. So what people don't understand with me is I mumble my words from time to time. If my brother is here, Jack, are you here? So Jack is my twin. Jack will tell you this, like I mumble my words when I'm trying to speak fast. I'm trying to get an expression out. So I mumble my words. Who here knew that about me? Nobody. Who here thinks that I speak with utmost confidence every single time I open my mouth? Most people. Yeah, all my clients do. Well, fundamentally, 7 years ago, I had to work through that. Okay, in order to be able to speak, in order to be able to control rooms, in order to be able to go into a room and fucking just own the space. So it doesn't happen just because you say you want it to happen. It happens because you put more effort in the next person. That's the reality. And to answer your question, Joseph, 2021, I started in sales full time. Let's go back to 2021. In my Facebook page, you'll see it. Up to that, I was pushing fitness.
But Bill, did you have the business aspect of what you do before?
I had a business, but I didn't have the business aspect. I saw what was working in the market. Just like I saw what needed to happen in the market. I saw what people were failing at in the market when I was selling and coaching. And I just hit the ground running. We collected over $1 million in the first 4 months of business.
Yeah.
Purely organic. Okay. So you don't do that because you just think that something happens. You do that because you meticulously planned that process.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me stop sharing this on Facebook and then we're going to get into it. Yes. Everybody, let's get a camera on. If you don't get a camera on, guys, the guys are going to start kicking you out. Unless you're sitting on the jacks, unless you're, you know, doing something that we don't want to see, please stick a camera on, guys. That's all I ask. For the 11, 15 people that are watching this on Facebook, let you know, like in 30 seconds, guys, it's shutting down. So if you want to get in, I will get in. If not, no problemo. I will only train people that want to be trained. Okay, so what I want to do today, guys, is I want to help you guys with the front of your conversation. It's one of the biggest concerns and issues I see time and time again. People don't know how to string conversations together, and people don't know how to progressively move people forward. Okay, and what tends to happen, guys, is this: is you fuck up the front of the conversation, you stumble your way into ideal lifestyle, future pace, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You stumble your way out of that into consequence and action. I call them an action questions, consequence questions, responsibility questions. That's what I call them. And then you fall into a pitch, and then you're trying to save something with objection handling. What we fundamentally do, guys, is I coach people, Benji will tell you this, on the hardest thing first, which is objections, and then we work back. Once you work back from the hardest thing first, guys, guess what happens to everything after that? Becomes easy, okay? But the problem that I see time and time again for the people that I don't work with is that the front of the conversation is a fucking shit show. You're probing and clarifying and building relationships, and all of this great stuff that you guys are being taught is completely rubbish, okay? And I'm going to show you why and how it's rubbish, okay? And why it's costing you not only money, but fucking time. Who here has conversations that go longer than 45 minutes? Who here has conversations that go longer than an hour? Put up your hand or put a 1 in the chat for me, please. Let me stop sharing. Okay, put a 1 in the chat for me, guys, if you have conversations that goes longer than an hour. This is really, really important, okay? The problem with this, guys, I'm going to tell you. If you have a call that goes longer than an hour, what do you think happens to the next call that's stacked up on your hour? Someone tell me.
You start running behind, and then the rest of your calendar becomes a shit show. It all bleeds
Correct.
into each other.
So the first call goes to 1 minute or 1 hour 15. Second call starts at 2:30 because you're chasing the prospect around for 20 minutes, trying to figure out where they are, what they are. They're already pissed off because you fucking 15 minutes late, because you all will be. If you all booked in for me and I'm 15 minutes late, you're going to get pissed off. Okay. What happens then is the next call runs over into the third call. And what happens internally for you guys is you're rushed. You're not asking proper questions. You're fucking anxious. You're stressed, and you're worried, and you're fucking angry. Why? Because you're not supposed to manage your accounts, meaning your calendars. You're not supposed to manage all of that shit. Okay. What you're supposed to do, guys, every single day is move people from where they are, which is buried in fear, anxiety, stress, worry, into a place where they want to go. So the problem that I see, guys, is if you allow your calls go longer than 45 minutes, you're fucking it up, because you're dragging the pain of the first call into the second, to the third, and then you're trying to chase your calendar around. Would that be fair to say? Okay. So the frameworks that we build, which we call the North Star, and we've developed it really, really quickly and really fast, stops you stumbling around at the front of the conversation. I can blitz a fucking 30-minute conversation. I can get you in there in 8 minutes, straight into the shit that actually moves the needle, okay? And stops you bumbling around, asking stupid questions for the sake of asking stupid questions, because you're building rapport. Okay? Anyone, any questions before we get going? Okay. My brother, Jack, is asking to be made host because he wants to kick some people out. So the only reason he would want to kick some people out, guys, is because you're not putting on your cameras. So let's call you out. Kevin, Elis, Adam Sheldon, Gillian, Jake, Hamid, Troy, Rain, Carlo, Scott, Mason, Marwin. You guys, as much as I love you, as much as I respect you, are going to get kicked out in about 30 seconds. Okay, I don't want to kick you out. All I want you to do is turn on your camera. And if you don't want to do that, just politely leave. If not, he's going to remove you. Okay, is that fair enough? No, let me make him host. Okay, let me share my screen for you guys, and then we're going to get after it. What I want to do is I want 2 volunteers before we do that, if we can. Not Benji, because Benji knows how to do it. Someone else? Not Dal, because he knows how to do it. Let's go Eric Davis. Never seen you before, buddy. So nice to meet you.
Okay,
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't be nervous, buddy.
Okay.
It's like telling somebody when you're standing on a cliff, don't be scared. You're like, fuck you. Of course I'm scared. So anyway, let's use it. Right, let's go Eric and let's go Hakeem if we can with the cool background. So Eric, what do you sell?
So I'm getting into solar right now,
Okay,
but the owner also owns a solar marketing agency. So I'm selling for him right now, or for both of them right now, as I'm ramping up in solar.
okay, cool. So what have you sold in your life up to this point?
Marketing for roofers and pressure washers.
All right, let's just say marketing. Fantastic, brilliant industry, very cookie cutter approach, right? So Eric is going to sell marketing. Hakeem is a marketing guy or a business that needs new leads.
Draw it properly and then say what it's showing. Then draw the next picture, say what's showing.
Hey, Mr. A.
A's iPhone, you're on, buddy.
Let's mute everybody. All right.
10,
Eric, I'm going to
9,
mute everybody.
8,
Hakeem,
7.
just everybody else, if you can mute, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. All right, very simple. All right, Eric, let's go. Hakeem, let's go. Ring, ring, XX, boy, all that, carry on.
Great.
Hey, Hakeem, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Pretty good myself. I'll be pretty straight to the point. I guess to give me some context here, like what are you really looking for on this call specifically in terms of growing and scaling your roofing business?
Yeah, so I had seen your ads prior to this, something about like getting more appointments on the calendar, interested homeowners, and I mean, I feel like I've been banging my head on the wall these last several years, so I'm always looking to revamp the lead gen side of things.
Yeah, of course. I guess when you say that, I guess like more specifically, what are you looking for in terms of an outcome?
I mean, the outcome that I want, you're saying like within the company or within the college? Can I have a better context?
I guess like within the college, say, of course, you want to revamp your marketing channels, et cetera. Like specifically, do you know what you're looking for in terms of an outcome?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I was looking at some of your case studies. I know you guys been helping a ton of roofing companies, scale their businesses. So I'm at the point now where I'm just trying to really get more interest coming in, because man, like I've been throwing stuff at the wall with all these companies and nothing has really panned out. I'm just trying to resolve.
Gotcha. And like Hakeem, I guess to get there to scale, what do you feel like you need help with to get there?
What I need is some sort of a system that's going to have me have interested homeowners who are looking to get the roofs replaced or fixed.
Okay, so like I guess like more leads in the door for your company, or
yeah, just the whole company. I mean, we have a staff of like four salespeople, so I'm just trying to like book them out.
Okay. So let's say we're able to help you get more interested homeowners, really book out the calendar for a sales team. Like what specific outcome in the business are you looking for if we do that?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're hovering about 250 a year.
All right, pause.
Like double that.
Good stuff. Well done. Pause. Okay, someone tell me what we could improve on, because there's lots of fantastic stuff there. Eric has probably been watching a lot of my stuff, which I'm picking up on some stuff, which is good. And I'm going to help you make it better, buddy. So what do you think we did good there, guys? Someone tell me.
I think he looped around the specific outcome because there's a lot of fluff in the beginning. Oh, I want some information. I want this, I want that, but not what kind of number you want.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so he was able to loop back around, which is good. Anyone else?
Yeah, I like that he didn't do any bullshit. It was right straight to the point. Like no fluff, no bullshit.
Okay, I'm gonna have a spin on that one, but okay, D, good stuff. Anyone else? Let's go one more.
Good start with the, as far as, asking straight to the point. That's basically the right attitude, instead of, saying fluff at the start, that's the right approach you use that.
Okay, cool. All right, who here has ever been in a store, like a Nike store or Adidas store or a TV store? Put up your hand for me. We all have in some way capacity. Okay, so let's say you walk into a Nike store and you're just there browsing. Your wife is in Tesco or 7-Eleven and you're like killing time. the sales executive walks up to you and says, hey, no bullshit. Like, don't walk around this room. You tell me exactly what you want. What do you think is going to happen, guys?
You're gonna leave.
Would that be fair to say for everybody?
Mhm.
Okay. The reason why you guys are saying that, okay, so D and active is because you don't have to ask questions properly. Would that be fair to say? Don't kill me. Please don't shoot me. The reason why people are saying that is they want things to be streamlined. But just because you want it doesn't mean it is going to be. You have to create it and you have to make it right. Okay. So if I walked up to you guys and you walked into my store and I said to you, hey guys, no bullshit. You just tell me exactly what you want in the next 30 seconds or else you got to leave. What do you think is going to happen 9 times out of 10?
And bounce.
They're
Trigger
gonna
a
be
lot of
like,
resistance.
who the fuck are you? Why the fuck are you in my face? Go over there and fucking play with the mannequin. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to potentially piss people off without even allowing that person to open up. Okay. Because what is happening on the front end of all your conversations, guys, for 95% of you guys, you're meeting with people who are scared. You're meeting with people who have a goal, who can't actually articulate what mostly they want. And you're meeting with people who, you know, are looking for a solution. Now, if you meet that person and you meet them with aggression, what do you think is going to happen more often than not? You send
gonna
people
match it
into
back.
a fight or flight. That's what you do. You send people into fight or flight. Okay? Because I tell you one thing, if Hakeem is a business owner and someone spoke to me like that, guess what we're not doing?
Business.
We're not doing business. Because the money that I make, guys, isn't worth me being spoken to like that. Straight up. I'd rather make less money than have my some fucking arsehole disrespect me because all he wants to do is not flop around. So be very, very careful, guys, how you ask questions and why you ask questions in the manner that you ask them. Okay, so that's the first thing. You can't be aggressive. If you walked into an elevator and someone said, hey, fucking pick some button there, will you? You're automatically going to put up your guard and say, fucking hell, I gotta, you know, take my hands out of my pocket and be ready if this fella wants to go at for me. Like, you know what I mean? That's the first thing that you would do as a person. So be very, very careful, Eric, with some element of aggression at the front step of the conversation, because you don't ever want to come across as aggressive. Okay. There's a difference between aggressive and assertive. Would everyone be fair to say that? Okay. Second thing I want you to understand is the second question that you asked was very confusing. Why was it confusing? Because he had to ask you to re-ask the question again. Okay. The third thing that you got was fluff, which was what we call a standardized answer. Okay, which is like a smokescreen, like a buzzword. We call them buzzwords. A buzzword is I want systems, I want leads, I want happiness, I want fulfillment, I want less stress, I want my kids excellent, I want my wife, happy. All of these are buzzwords. Okay, what you don't want, guys, is buzzwords, because buzzwords isn't enough. You got to understand how to fucking drive it down. Okay, because the buzzword isn't what they want. Who here wants systems? Who here runs a business? Who wants systems? Nobody. Who here wants more income? Everybody. So you have to understand, guys, what a system actually means. Okay, so you got to understand how to come down. All right. The second or the third thing that I want to give you, Eric, is that we have to be very direct with the question that we ask. Be very careful how many times you say the same word in the first 3 minutes. Okay, you kept saying the word specifically over and over and over and over again. So be very careful, guys. You got to open up your dialogue. You got to open up your I suppose your expressions and your different ways of saying the same thing. Okay. So what I want to give you guys is very, very simple. All my guys go through it. It's the same thing that we use in every single place, whether that's coaches, consultants, agency, business owners, whether that's entrepreneurs. It doesn't really matter whether you're selling bats, whether you're selling hot tubs, whether you're selling coaching services, whether you're selling marketing, whether you're selling fucking fitness. It don't matter, guys. Okay. This is what we use. Very, very simple at the very start of the conversation. I call it my North Star. Okay. And what it does, guys, is get you directly to the straight of what people need, want, and desire. Okay. Because if I let that go, what was going to happen, guys, is we're going to spend another 15 minutes dancing around what we're looking for. Because he's going to say he wants more leads. And then you're going to go in, how many more leads do you want? How many leads are you currently getting? What are you currently doing? You're driving the conversation away from what they want. The only reason why people would want leads is what, guys? Someone tell me.
Because they want money.
Yeah.
Who said it? Daniel Doe.
Yeah.
There's three things people want on a call for 99% of you guys. What is it?
Time, money, freedom.
Josh Lars, I can't have you going through, buddy. You can't go through this. You can't. I'm leaving space for the rest. It's time, money, or freedom. Okay, that's the trifecta, guys. Okay, it's a triangle. It's time, money, or freedom. All that's going to move, guys, is how the triangle sits. Most people are going to come in and they're going to tell you, I just want more leads, which is a direct correlation to saying I want more money. Or they're going to come in and tell you that I want more time, which is, or I want more systems, which is a direct correlation to I want more time. Or they're going to come in and tell you I want more freedom. Yeah, all of these mean something. Okay, and it comes down to time, money, and freedom. That's what most of you are selling. If you sell fitness, you are still selling freedom and time. You're always going to sell one of the three things, guys. You're either going to tell people how to make more money, how to find more time, or how to live a better life. That's it. Okay. Let me open this up. All right. So this is what we do. Very, very simple, guys. Who here has gone through this training, but still doesn't understand what it actually means? Put up your hand or put a 1 in the chat for me, and I'm going to explain everything for you. So you should know, leaving this conversation, how to fucking cut your call time in half. Does anybody struggle with this? Matthew said, what's more systems? What follow-up questions would you ask to cut the fluff? I'm going to show you now, buddy. All right. So first thing we do, everything links back to this. Okay. Every single thing links back to this. I'm not going to go through this, guys, because you can all laugh at it another time. Okay. This is what you guys are going to do. Okay. And this is kind of what Eric was getting into, which is clarifying and probing and kind of dancing around what needs to happen, guys. That's what we don't want. Okay. Because it's just rubbish. Okay. It means you're cutting your call time. If you guys are not pitching at 30 to 40 minutes, where the fuck do you think you're going to have time to objection handle if you need to? Okay. Let me ask you this. How long do you think it takes you to get a client sold, take their onboarding, means like take their payments, register them as a new client, put through a sales form, and onboard them correctly, means send them what they need? How long do you think that actually takes, guys? As well as objection handling?
40, 45 maximum.
45
Ideally.
minutes. Okay, so let's say Benji is 30. Who else? Anyone else?
30.
30 minutes. Okay, who else? Come on. We're all making sales somewhere, guys. Come and let me know. How long does it take you to onboard people? 20 minutes. Okay. How long does it take you to onboard people, guys? Come on, let me know.
10 to 15 minutes for onboarding.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, good stuff. Keep going. Let me know. So it's going from 10 minutes all the way up to 30. Would you say that's the kind of range? Anywhere from 10 all the way up to 30 minutes, give or take. Between you fill in sales forms, take their payment, book their fucking onboarding call, hand them over to a CSM, fill in their fucking sales tracker, whatever it may be. There's about 5 or 6 things that need to happen in any onboarding sequence. Okay, so let's say it's anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. If you guys are not pitching at 30 minutes, how the fuck are you going to objection handle? And how the fuck are you going to onboarding calls? But yet, everybody wants to have an hour's conversation. You see how it all fucks up. See how it all fucks up? And what tends to happen, guys, is this. And this is what people won't tell you. Okay? This is what they don't actually tell you, because the people that are selling it don't actually sell. All right? Let's say you have 20 hours on your calendar a week. Let's say you have 4 days backed up by 5 hours. Yeah? Let's just say that's the reality. Okay? Let's just say all your hours are backed up. By the time you go through all your hours, guess how many hours you're going to miss because you're spending way too long objection handling. You're spending way too long chasing people around. You're spending way too long actually going through your onboarding process. If all of your hours are backed up, guys, for 5 days, 4 hours a day or whatever it may be, you're going to miss at least 3 to 5 fucking hours a week. Now you do 3 to 5 hours a week over the course of fucking 52 weeks or 48 weeks because you took 4 weeks off for a holiday. Do the maths. You close at 50%, 40%, 30%. You do the maths of how much money you're losing because you don't know how to formulate a conversation. That's the reality that nobody wants you to know. Or that they don't know because they don't fucking sell the shit. They're telling you how to sell shit, but they don't actually sell shit. I sell what I do every day. I do that. Why? Because it keeps me on the pulse, it keeps me in the game, it keeps me fucking sharp. Okay, and I'm telling you exactly what happens if you do not close a deal off before 50 minutes. I mean onboard, sell, objection handle, and onboarding into a process. If you do not do that, guys, before 50 minutes, you're going to run the risk of fucking having stress, anxiety, and going to miss sales calls, which means you're going to have less money at the end of the month. That's a fact, because I've done the numbers. Okay, so this process, guys, right here, halves that time. Okay, very, very simple. All right. Without getting the North Star, guys, you'll fucking kill every conversation, and there's not enough leverage to move the needle forward. Every single thing that you do, guys, it's about moving the conversation forward in a progressive manner. Okay, it is the single biggest important thing you got to do, guys, at the top of the conversation. Because whether you realize it or not, guys, in the first 5 to 7 minutes, they're making their mind up on you. They're thinking to themselves, I don't know, do I want to give this kid 10K, 15K, 100K, 5K, 3K, whatever it may be that you guys sell. If you guys don't, come across as the professional that you want to come across as, they're not going to fucking invest in you. Because if you think that they're just investing in what they're looking at, you're wrong. I've seen so many salespeople fuck up their whole process because their ego is getting in the way, or that they're asking shitty questions and being very aggressive at different ways and just asking things for the sake of asking things. The fastest way to lose respect in any conversation, guys, is to keep opening your mouth. The only time you open up your mouth, guys, is to progress the conversation forward. Okay? So, first question, very, very simple, guys. This is all I want you to do, no matter what industry you sell in. Okay? Can I ask, do you know what you're specifically looking for? That's it. Can I ask, do you know what you're specifically looking for in terms of A, B, C, and company? Another way you can do it. Can I ask, do you know what you're specifically looking for in terms of the results that we'll get here with A, B, and C company? Can I ask, do you know what you're specifically looking for in regard to marketing that we do at A, B, and C marketing company here? That question alone, guys, is going to get that person, oh, I'm just looking to see how you guys can help me get more leads. Straight away, I've hit the fucking first word that I want to hit, which is the first smokescreen, or which is the first standardized bullshit answer. Nobody wants leads. Okay, so I got that word. What I can do from that word is I can go all the way down to money. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that at the end, but I'm just going to keep going through this. Okay, and what are you currently doing now to go and achieve, leads as per se, getting more leads into your business? Whatever they say, guys, you got to ask the question, what are you currently doing now to get it? But if you don't ask this question properly, guys, you're going to get an awful lot of fluff, just like what my mate got. Okay. What was his name? Sorry. Eric, I think, yeah. So if you don't ask a very systematic but clear and drive that action with the question, you're going to get an awful lot of fluff. You're going to get an awful lot of buzzwords. And buzzwords, guys, you have to keep figuring out. That's that probe and clarify. I don't want you to do that, because all you're doing is asking questions for the sake of asking questions. Okay, so the question after that is, what are you currently doing now to go and achieve X goal? Okay, and how long have you been doing it that way? Why would I ask this question? Someone tell me. Why would I want to have a timeline on how long they've been trying to achieve something in terms of this way that they're doing it?
Trying to create reality of how long they've been doing that isn't working.
Time creates reality. Yeah. Would you also agree that time creates urgency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because if I said to you, how long, let's say you're, trying to lose weight and you're following a vegan diet, and I ask you that question, like, what are you currently doing now? And you say to me, I'm following this vegan diet that I learned from the internet. And I ask you then on top of that, and how long have you been doing it that way? And you tell me 2 years. Fucking 2 years or 24 months is a fucking realization to understand, fuck me, I've wasted 2 years and I'm still no closer to my fucking goal. The fucking time, guys, is the urgency. Okay? Time is urgency. Why is time urgency? Because you can't fucking get any back. Who here is getting younger? Put up your hand. Nobody. All right? Very, very simple. Now, the second question that I want to ask after this, guys, is how long have you been trying to achieve X, Y, and Z goal? Why would I ask this question? Someone let me know.
That's the time even more.
Yeah. So they may be trying the vegan diet for 2 years, but mostly people have been overweight for 10 years or 12 years or 15 years or whatever it may be. The second time that I want to figure out, guys, They may be trying to fucking they may be trying to achieve a goal a particular way for X amount of time, but that doesn't mean that that's the goal in its entirety. They may have tried for fucking 10 years doing something else as well. Okay, so you want to be able to stretch the time back as far back as you could possibly go. Those are the two reasons, and those are my two ways of how you can stretch that back. Okay, very, very simple. Do you feel that the way you're trying to achieve X, Y, and Z goal will happen, or do you feel you kind of need to make some small changes? Why would I say this? This is really important. Do you feel you need to make some small changes? Someone let me know why I would say something like this.
Get the emotional aspect.
Emotional aspects? Yeah. What else do you guys think?
Scare them, maybe.
What's that?
Too much.
You don't want to scare them? Okay. What else?
Get a confirmation
Yeah.
that they need to change something in the first place.
Yeah. Need to change
Baby-
something.
baby
Get an
steps.
acceptance from the prospect that there is a room to change whatever he's trying currently.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. All those are very valid. The reason why I built it out like this, guys, is because if I ask a fucking black and white question, what is that going to do for someone, you know, who wants to dig their heels in?
Piss them off.
If I'm speaking to an entrepreneur and he's fucking battling night and day to get his company to 100K and he's been at it for 15 years. If I say to a person, hey buddy, do you feel the way you're doing this is going to work, or you're just kind of wasting your time? What am I basically saying to that person? You've wasted the last 15 years of your life, you fucking dickhead. Who here in their right mind is going to say, yes, I've wasted 15 years of my life? Do you think that person who's been digging their heels in for 15 years trying to break 100K a month is going to say yes?
Of course not.
So the reason why I asked this question, guys, is because it gives a little bit in the middle. Nobody's going to say yes if they're fucking going to say that they're a failure. Who here would tell me they're a failure in life right now? Come on, put up your hand. Who's a failure in this life so far? Who here looks back on their life and says, I'm a fucking failure. I wasted 15 years fucking doing the wrong shit.
No. I've spent too many years doing what I'm doing, and I wish I learned your system 20 years ago.
So I wasn't born 20 years ago, but anyway, thank you very much.
I know you weren't, but
No,
some
I
of
know.
us, one of us was.
Okay, so that's that is the only person here that can honestly tell me the truth. Yeah. If I asked you that question in person, I presume many of you would put up your hand, but you also would be fucking pretty pissed off that you have to put up your hand. Would that be fair to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I put up a mirror in front of you guys and I'm the person that made you pissed off because I told you the truth, guess what's not going to happen at the front end of this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to start butting heads. How many people have you paid when you butted heads with someone? Very few. There's very few people in this world, guys, that can get you to pay when you butt heads. I can butt heads in my marketing. Do you know why? Because I fucking produce day after day that I am the best at what I do. And you may not like who I am, you may not like what I do, you may not like my bravado, but you fucking know that if you invest with me, I'm going to get you paid. That's a fact. But not many people can carry that because it's heavy. Okay, not many people can take the fucking shit that I get because it's heavy. But what I don't want you guys to do is to piss people off at the front end of a conversation. Okay, and the questions that you're asking is putting people in that fight or flight, or they're getting ready for battle, which I do not want. But when you ask a question, do you feel like kind of have to make some small changes? When I say some small changes, what does that fucking mean? It means that all I got to do is commit to making small changes. All that I'm doing right there is fucking allowing that person to say yes without saying, yes, I'm a failure. That's it. Okay. So it builds up the equity in the conversation that I'm here to help you without fucking ramming it down your throat that you've wasted the last 10, 15 years of your life doing the shit that don't work. Who here has been in sales more than 5 years? Type of one in the chat from you guys if you can. Yeah. Who here is not making the money that they want to make in the last 5 years? Type of one in the chat from you guys. Yeah. If I said to you guys right now, all of you guys are failures, what would you feel about it? Who here would be appreciated if I called you all failures? Not a whole lot. Yeah. Not a whole lot. If I said to you guys, all you guys are fucking complete failures. Yeah. Everything you've done for the last 5 years has put you in a position where you failed. Not a lot of people want to fucking pick that up. So what I don't want you guys to do is put yourself in that boat, because the minute you put yourself in that boat, guys, you're in trouble. Okay. Is that fair enough? Every fucking word that you have, guys, every question that you ask is so fucking delicate and so productive and moving conversation forward, guys, it's unheard of. Okay, so let me go back to this and I'll keep going. So this right here, guys, is gray. That's what I call this. Some small changes. Okay, that's gray in my world. It's a black and white question with a little bit of gray in it. I guarantee you guys, you ask it that way, all of those people that were going to get pissed off when you ask them a direct question will sit in fucking gray. Okay, very simple. Okay, why do you feel what you're doing is not necessarily getting you to where you want to go as quickly as you want to get there? Why would I ask this question? Another fucking very important question. Someone tell me.
It's a sequence of the previous question, because you are trying, to creating a like scenario where he will be agreeing to make some changes in the current perspective.
Correct. Okay, good. I missed most of that, Atif, but I kind of get what you were saying. All right. The reason why I would say this, guys, is I want that person, man, woman, child, dog, cat, I don't really care, to fucking come to the understanding that what they're doing is not working. And I want them to agree without point blank saying it to me. Okay. So that's why I use words like, do you feel it's not getting you there as quickly as you would like? Or do you feel what you're doing is not necessarily getting you there as much as you would hope for? Like, there's ways that you can say you're failing without fucking telling somebody you're failing. Because the minute you go direct like that and you go directly to them at the front of the conversation, guys, you haven't earned the right. You haven't earned enough equity from yourself. You haven't built up enough trust, and you most certainly haven't built up enough respect to be able to have that direct conversation. I'm just telling you that now. Or if you can imagine, guys, you're less than 3 minutes into a conversation right here. So you have to fucking massage the conversation. You have to allow that person to take down their guard and be comfortable to be able to tell you. I fucking guarantee you, guys, you do it this way, you will fucking drip money out. Okay, very simple. Besides obviously making more money, because look, everybody wants to make more money. You've been trying to achieve this for X amount of years. What makes this really important to you now? How you ask that question, guys, is really fucking important. Okay. From here, I want you guys to slow down. Like, what makes it, really important now, today, not tomorrow? Why I would say that, guys, is because I want that person to come to the realization that they're here to make a change. They're here to make a decision. Okay. If you ask it open-ended, what you're going to get out of that, if you ask it open-ended, is, oh, I'm just looking for more information. Oh, I'm just doing some market research. Oh, I'm just looking to have a conversation on behalf of my boss. All this other bullshit. Okay. So you got to bring the conversation back to now. You got to bring the conversation back to today. All right. Anyone, any questions about any of that? Okay. Last question is this. Do you think now is the time to put a line in the sand and really commit to doing A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z? Or like, how do you feel? Why would I say this? Or how do you feel? Someone tell me this.
A or B?
A or B? Okay. Or how do you feel? Why would we say something like this?
You get a small commitment before going to future pace.
This put a line in the sand is a small commitment, and I'll come back to that one in a second. But why do I have this in red? Or how do you feel? Someone tell me.
We don't want him to think, we want him to feel.
Okay, very good. All very valid answers. The reason why I would always say, or how do you feel, is because I always want to give control to who?
It's their idea.
Their idea, it's their thoughts, it's their actions, it's their decision. Okay. If I ask the question and I allow that person to trip up into my box, I didn't push him in. I didn't pull him in. I opened up the box and I tripped him in by just asking the question. I just said, get closer to the box, and if you fall in, you fall in. That's up to you. I didn't ask you to get there. I'm just opening it up, and if you do go there, you do go there. Okay. How do you feel? I'm giving away responsibility. I'm giving away control to the person. We all know who's in control here. Would that be fair to say? Yes, we all know that I'm the boss when it's on a call. But ultimately, I don't want you to feel that. I want you to feel that you're in control. Who here has a wife? Who here has a husband? Yeah. When your wife is fighting with you and she's giving you a fucking lip, what do you say? Yeah, you're completely right there. No problem.
I said it was Bill's fault. He closed me.
Yeah. You're completely right, babe. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. I'll make it right. Yeah. Sometimes you just give away the pressure. Sometimes you take the pressure out, you give it back to them. And what will happen more often than not, guys, is they will fall in. That's how it works. Okay. So that's why I would say, that do you feel? Because if they agree to that, whose decision was it then? It was theirs. Okay. Do you think now is the time to put a line in the sand and really commit to doing X, Y, and Z and having 1, 2, and 3 in your life? Or like, how do you feel?
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So what if my personality isn't like put a line in the sand? How else could I say that?
Do you think now is the time to kind of really take control of your life and kind of really commit to this? Or like, how do you feel? Can I ask, like, do you feel now is the time to kind of really, you know, take a hold of this and, you know, learn the right skills so we can have 1, 2, and 3? Or how do you feel? What's your personality, Dee? Tell me.
I'm a little bit more forceful, but
Forceful.
I
Well,
need to be,
if
well,
it's
I just
forceful,
like,
what's wrong with put a line in the sand?
I just wanted to know another way to say it, but I like, is now a time to really take control of this?
Do you think now is the time to kind of stop bullshitting yourself and kind of really take control of your life? There
Right
you
on.
go. There you
Right.
go. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. See,
Bill,
what
can I
happened
also
with
ask a quick one here, really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
The leads that my company sets, they're set very, very fluffy, kind of like ninja them into as long as they book a call somehow.
Yeah.
And very often these people are very sales aware and they're not really committed to change anything so far. When at this stage, like when they say like, well, I didn't even think I was going to change something today, like what then?
Well, that's kind of a more of a question of like, is the urgency built? You know, like at the end of the day, guys, as I always go back to my guys when the guys ask me questions like this, if I'm in quicksand and I rock up to you and I stick my hand out to you and you look at me and say, no, I'm in quicksand, buddy, just come back another day. I'm not really looking for someone to help me. Hands up here who would jump on a call without wanting a problem solved. Would anybody do that? So when people tell you, I'm not really looking for a solution today, they're full of fucking shit. Because if I told you at the end of this call, all you got to do is stay to the end of the call, I'm going to give you $1 million, would you stay? Fucking damn right you would. Yeah. So everybody wants something. It's just how I ask the questions and how do I rebuttal the fucking objection. Because all that is, Benji, is an objection up front. You just tell them, well, I don't really have anything to give you unless you actually want it. The big question for me is, do you actually want to achieve X, Y, and Z in your life, or like how do you feel? Because you don't have to. You don't actually have to do anything. You can keep making 10K a month when you want to make 50. It's up to you, my friend. What do you want to do, Benji? They're going to fucking answer that, aren't they?
Yeah, no, but they're just set very wishy-washy. That's the point. Like
they're set wishy-washy.
They get tricked into a call, more or less.
Which is a marketing issue of absolutely. And there's it's a fundamental flawed like process in terms of marketing and sales because it's not cohesion. There's no like symmetry. There's nothing there. It's like forced in, and you're trying to maneuver it out with sales. It don't work.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big headbanger at the moment in that company, but it's a different thing. So thank you.
All right. So see, the problem that I have, guys, is a lot of salespeople are confusing people. And what tends to happen, guys, when you keep asking questions all the time that don't work, and you keep asking it the same way, and the person isn't dancing to the beat of your drum, what happens is you start to annoy people, okay? And what tends to happen after that, guys, you start chasing the wrong rabbit. You start hoping, wishing, praying that it works, which inevitably it won't. Okay, they keep asking the same question over and over and over again. And all that it does, guys, it creates friction. That's all it is. If you have friction in a conversation, guys, you're fucking finished, okay? Your job, and the only job of your sales career, guys, is to keep conversations progressive. Keep them moving forward. Keep them fucking moving all the way till they give you your fucking credit card details. And then they look around and they say, what the fuck that just happened? How did that happen? That's as smooth as you want it to go, guys, okay? Anyone, any questions? No? Easy peasy?
One quick thing.
Go for it.
Yeah, Bill, it just sounds like most of would you say strategically using like the feel in these open-ended questions is to not sting the ego? That's just kind of what it feels like.
You never want to sting anybody. You like getting stung. When's the last time you got stung by a wasp? When was the last time you got stung by a wasp or a stingray or something? Did you enjoy it?
Many years ago, and no.
Yeah, you didn't. So we don't want to sting anybody. Yeah. What you don't want to do, guys, I'm telling you this now, guys, if you want to have a fruitful career, guys, you want to make a ton of money, the day you become friction in the sales process, the day you're done. And the problem that a lot of you guys have, guys, is your fucking friction.
No.
Do you know what friction means? It means that you're blocking a fucking sale. It means that you're fucking things up. It means that you're getting in the way of the guy wanting what you have. All you got to do, guys, is ask fucking proper questions, move the conversation forward. You're a fucking conveyor belt. Stop fucking it up. Get out of your way. Ask proper questions and fucking flow the bitch. Okay? This is as simple as I fucking do it, guys. This is what I do, okay? And I'm going to give you guys an option to come and work with me and all that great stuff. But this is as simple as I fucking do it, guys. See these 4 blocks? If I fuck up this block, how do you think I can fuck up, or how do you think I can knock this big one? The first block has to knock the second block has to knock the third block, and the third block has to knock the fucking fourth block. Okay? Because if you do not knock those fucking blocks, guys, it don't work. Why? Because this knock or this block right here, guys, isn't going to be able to fucking knock the third block if I don't knock the second one. So you have to start the conversation at the fucking very first second, and you have to move it forward. Okay? This is the difference, guys, from some of you guys are here. This is where a lot of you guys are in. My guys are up here. That's a fact. Can anyone tell me a lie? Can anyone tell me that my guys aren't up there? No, they can't. A lot of you guys are in here. And the problem that you guys have is that you don't know what you're doing here. That's a fact, okay? There's no point fixing your objections if you can't fix the rest of your conversation. Because you will not save 10 deals every single week, guys, with just fucking forcing deals through. I used to be this place. I was the best, and I'm the best objection handler in the game. That's a fact, okay? And that's my opinion, but maybe a lot of thousands of other people will tell you that too. I had to create this up here because I got to the end of the day, guys, when I started and I was fucking burnt out, exhausted. Who here gets to the end of the day, guys, and they're exhausted and burnt out from all the calls they've had? Who here gets no and rejection day after day, hour after hour? Not all of them, of course, because some of you are making good money and you're fucking burnt out. You're exhausted. Would it be fair to say there's a lot of you here? Type one in the chat if you can, guys. Who here is burnt out? Who here is not making the money that they feel they are deserving? The big thing for me, guys, is I can solve that problem for you because I can show you how to knock these blocks. That's all it is. And I can show you guys how to get here. Okay. This right here, guys, are penny in a pound. If you make 0 to 5K or even 5 to 10K, guys, you're a penny a pound. You know what that means? It means there's fucking hundreds of you. Not hundreds of you up here, guys. Okay. The big factor, guys, of getting up here, because you get better offers, you get better relationships, you get better referrals, you get better fucking, you know, you get better commissions, you get better structures, you get bonuses, you get fucking commission improvements and all the rest of the stuff, guys. You get notoriety up here. You get fuck all down here, guys. You only get what you're given down here. And the problem that most of you guys think, please take this respectfully, is that you think that just taking more calls and having more time under tension is going to work. It don't work. The fact of the matter is, guys, there's a lot of you here been in sales far longer than I have. That's a fact. But you're still around here. I coach guys up here. That's the difference. And all that's the difference, guys, is the skill. Fact. Because you guys probably work just as much as I do, if not more, because you have to. That's a fact. But the difference is, guys, that I have a skill set that you may not have. But it's up to you whether you want to possess it. That's the other fact. Okay. So what I want to do, guys, I think my team are in here somewhere. Who here has been helped today? Yeah. Who here would like more information in terms of what we actually do? If you do, guys, my guys will give you a link. All I want you to do, guys, is actually have a conversation with the team. Now, there's no obligation. I say this to everyone all the time. There's no obligation to come and work with me. But just know, guys, if you work with me, I make sure that you get paid. That's a fact. And there's people in here that have worked with me and do work with me, and they would also tell you that too. Okay. The fact of the matter is, guys, if you think that you're just going to fluke your way to getting onto better offers and getting into better commissions and getting up this triangle, you're completely fucking screwed. The only way that you're going to get up there, guys, is investing in yourself. And I also understand this, guys, right? Most people that get into sales, as in what we actually do, we're sold a fucking dream. Fact. You all got in here somewhere. I'm very fortunate I didn't. Okay, you all got sold the idea that you can have 10K in 10 weeks because I'm going to get you on a fantastic offer. I'm going to guarantee it. You've all been sold by someone else. I don't want to keep mentioning names, but then to realize that that's not how the market works. But then to realize that's not how the industry works. Okay, the industry works, guys, like every other industry. If you're the best, you get paid the best. That's it. Doesn't matter whose jockstrap you carry, no matter how many hands you shake, no matter fucking how many babies you kiss. If you can't fucking do the fucking shit day in, day out, you can't produce, you don't get the fucking produce. That's a fact. Because if I'm running a business, guys, that's doing $1 million a month or 500 a month or blah, 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 I can't afford to have someone on my team that I got to carry. That's a reality. Because most of your guys are spending 500 to 1,500 bucks per call to get a call on your calendars. How long for a business do you think that they will carry somebody that closes less than 25%? It costs them hundreds of thousands a year to market. And if you can't produce, guys, you're not going to be able to be there. That's not me fucking scaremongering you. That's just reality. That's why people lose their jobs. That's why people have to go back down. That's why people have to go into shit offers. Because you're not at a level where you can actually produce. Okay? So what I got, guys, and what all my guys get is this. Okay? If you want to work with me and you want to achieve the goals that we achieve, you want to fucking be some of the guys that you see day in, day out, my guarantee is this, and it's very, very simple. I will double you up, meaning your income. Okay? I will double your income in the time that we work together. And if I don't, I'll actually refund you every cent, and I'll actually give you $1,200 on top out of my own pocket. There is nobody that can give you that guarantee, and there's nobody that can give you this. It's all recorded, guys. You go and have it. You have a fucking guarantee. It's in a, I suppose, what do we call those? It's in an agreement. Okay? It's from me to you. If you want that level of success, if you want to make sales properly, guys, and if you want to fucking learn how to do this day in, day out, so you don't keep going around scratching your nutsack because you don't know what you're doing and losing money hand over fist, what I would suggest to you guys is book in with the team, have a conversation with them, figure out, can you actually come and work with us? Figure out, can you meet the standard that I require to pay you? And then the rest is history. And I understand, guys. Look, I understand that a lot of people are bitter in sales. I see it night and day. Why are they bitter? Because they were sold a dream. They were sold that it's easy. They were sold that it's the easiest thing you got to do. All you got to do is have a laptop and an earpiece. Only to realize, fuck, I'm not very good at this. Only to realize that this is hard. Who here feels that sales is hard? I presume a lot of us do. I did too. Yeah. But once you understand how sales work, guys, it's like learning a cheat code to Grand Theft Auto. Who here used to play Grand Theft Auto when they were young? I'm sure a lot of us did. Yeah. If you're around my age. That's what it feels like, guys. Yeah. It's learning the right skills so you don't actually have to live by everybody else's expectations. The reality is, guys, if I can double up your fucking income, your life changes. That's it. That's what I do. I do it day in, day out. If you want to come and fucking do it, and you want to come and learn this type of stuff, guys, book in, have a conversation with the guys. The guys will fucking figure it all out for you. Josh Lars, 0 to 40K, exactly right. Benji, 26 months. Yeah, like I didn't ask the guys to come here. The guys come here because we're good friends, and that, like, when you help somebody make 40 grand a month, guys, you end up being friends. That's just reality. Okay. And you don't have to force things. It's just there for everybody, guys. If you want to come and speak to us, you want to come and figure it out, please do come and let us know. We'll fucking get you where you want to go. All right. Thank you all very much. Hopefully you've learned something here. Okay. Hopefully you can adapt things. Hopefully you can put it into your own fucking sales systems and structures and go and make a ton of money. If I never work with you guys and all I get to do is coach you guys for free, I'll be a happy man. But if you want to speed up your results, you want to get there quicker, you want to fucking take control of this industry, you want to be one of the guys in terms of the guys that people look to, I'm talking about the top 10%, then I would definitely book in a call. If not, that's also fine too. There's no love lost. I will see you all later on. Okay. Anyone, any last questions? Any last love? Any last things that we want to do? No? Everyone okay? Has everyone learned something?
Big time. Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Thank you,
Good.
sir.
All right. Anyone last questions?
What do you got on your water bottle?
Water bottle. Good question. So I'm doing 75 hard. So this is an ounce in a US gallon. A US gallon. Yeah. If you do 75 hard, guys, I would fucking highly recommend you get one of these because it saves the fucking headache of going around filling up your bottle and all this other bollocks. You only have one thing to drink every day. So that's what I've left. That's from 7 o'clock. So I'm about 2 hours ahead of it. All right. See you later on. Adios. Bye-bye, guys. Ciao.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.